Clearly, nobody likes to show up on down days. We give it another couple minutes, guys, and we'll get started. A couple seconds, like maybe 30 or 40 more seconds. Yeah. 80K. Psychological numbers, guys. Nice round. Oh, human psychological numbers. 80K. Sweet. All right. Good morning, degenerates, and welcome to another episode of Boring Crypto, a place where I read you the boring crypto news every morning, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m., just so you don't have to. Guys, my name is not important, and I'm your host. Let's do it. Utah Senate passes Bitcoin bill, but scrapes key provisions. Binance announces community voting mechanism for token listings. Michael Saylor pushes U.S. government to purchase up to 25% of Bitcoin supply. Good luck, Mike. I like it, but good luck. David Sachs pushes back against the idea of crypto transaction tax. And OCC lays out crypto banking after Trump vows to end Operation Choke Point. That is the news we've got for you guys today. If you don't know what Operation Choke Point is, go ahead and look it up. It's wild. To the market. Per usual, guys, housekeeping. If you do enjoy the content I provide for you, if you do enjoy the content I provide here for you every morning on Boring Crypto, please like the video. Share the stream and the video on all your social channels. Tell your friends. Tell everybody. Let's get them involved in crypto before this thing starts going back up so we can all make some money. If you're watching me on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. If you're watching me on Facebook, go ahead and give me a follow. Outside of that, guys, if you want to learn how to trade crypto, trade traditional markets, get better at trading, get better at financial stuff, and just overall lifestyle things, I want to be part of a huge community, get eyes on the market, early calls, things like that, guys, go ahead and click on the link pinned in the comment section. That'll take you to the Pip Connect Discord. That is Andy Peters' personal Discord. There's about 1,000 of us in there, 1,000 people watching the markets, 1,000 people giving out calls, 1,000 people helping each other grow and become more financially savvy. Guys, if that sounds like something you might be into, go ahead and click on the link. If you do have any questions about that, by all means, reach out to Andy or myself. We'll do our best to get those questions answered. With that being said, we're going to jump right into it. Guys, right now, current market cap sitting at 2.74 trillion, down 1.63% from yesterday. Bitcoin dominant sitting at 60.4%. Ethereum 9.4. God, I was going to try and get it all out without messing up, and I didn't. ETH up a little bit, 1.21. Goyo get you that ETH transaction. Still super low. Fear and greed at 17. Wowzers. Absolutely wowzers. I'm going to say it. We're in a bear market. Ruh-roh. Oh no, somebody shoot me. No, Nick, how could we be in a bear market? Well, I'll tell you what, the altcoins are definitely in a bear market. Look, we're getting into levels that I expected to be at on the next bear cycle. So why would I not say that we're in a bear market? I don't know. I'd just be foolish not to say that. But we're going to get to the charts here in a second. Let's go through that top 100, see what the biggest movers are for the day, and just continue moving right along, guys. Bitcoin down 1.15%, down 10.56 on the week. Wild. Now we're just going to go through the top, see if there's any big movers. Pi up, actually, 4.37% on a lot, but that's kind of cool. Guys, I'm stoked for anyone who did this. I'm assuming the liquidity's there. It's got $860 million in 24-hour volume. That's wild. If you did this Pi stuff, you guys are the biggest winners, in my opinion, of this cycle. I know guys that are sitting on hundreds of thousands of these things because they mined and they mined and they mined. And I look, I was asked about it multiple times for several years, and I missed out because I just didn't want to connect my phone to a bunch of stuff that I just don't like doing it. It weirds me out. But again, my point, if you were doing this Pi thing, I hope you made a ton of money, man. You guys are the biggest winners in my opinion, because you're like 4 years, 3 years, people were mining Pi on their phones and things like that. It's absolutely awesome. Congratulations to those. Anyways, moving on. Sorry. SHIB's up 3.2%. Can we please not go into another meme? Like, this is meme cycle. This is just killing the market. Mantra down 4.85%. Nothing crazy really right now, guys. Everything looks kind of stagnant. 5s, 4s, 3s, things like that. CAS was down 8.84%. It's kind of big. ENA is up 6.13%. Story IP is up 8.35%. Move is down 9.33. 8.85 to the downside for MakerDAO. That's it. And Ronan bringing in your 100 spot, down 4.72% on the day. Guys, that is your top 100. Not a lot going on. Bitcoin, 10-minute. See you later buy line. We are flirting with it. We are flirting with the see you later buy. Sometimes you gotta be a 2G degen. Yeah, Steve. I mean, yeah, absolutely. How you doing, buddy? I know you called me, but I was in the middle of setting this stuff up. My apologies for not answering the phone. All right, let's go to the 4 hour. Here's the wildest thing about where we're at right now, guys. I shit you not. And Steve, you can probably back me up on this. Andy, if you're watching, you'll probably back me up on this. 2 years from now, there is a large... Good morning, Elijah. There's a large potential that a lot of people are going to come back to people like Steve and myself, Andy, and be like, oh, I should have been buying. I should have been buying. I should have bought back then. I should have bought back then. Do you know how many times over the course of, I don't know, 8 years, 9 years, 6, 7 years? I don't even, I need to do the math. 8 years that I've been in the space that I've heard that. Talk about all the buying on chain of Bitcoin. People are on chain buying Bitcoin. Steve, wait, what? Do you have an article? Hey, if you have an article, post it in the chat, Steve, because I haven't seen anything like that. Anyway, my point, we're getting close to what I thought would be bear market levels, 65K. That's where I thought, I mean, again, like I said, the alts are already there. The alts are already what I expected us to be in for bear market levels. I mean, Ondo's 88 cents. That's wild. Oof. PAL took a big dive. PAL is under 10 cents. Ugh. Dude, you guys, if you've been looking at projects, you've been here going, oh, I wish I could have got in. Oh, I wish I could have got in. Oh, I wish I could have got in then. Well, now's the time. I'm telling you. I'm not saying just deploy all your capital. Don't just start launching all your bags, but now's the time to start scaling in. And let me show you what that looks like. Oh, this is gonna look really nasty. Don't look at all my... I need to go through and clean this shit up. All right. Whoop. What did I just do? God damn it. All right. So my green lines on Bitcoin is where I was buying, scaling in, and I actually didn't really even start marking them until later in the cycle, but so this is what it looks like, guys. Bitcoin went down to 15.5, and I wanted to see if we'd bounce, and when it started bouncing, I started buying 25.8, 27, 28, things like that is when I started deploying capital into Bitcoin. And those green levels are where I was buying. Again, you got to ask yourself the question, how low can we go? We can go pretty low. But I was assuming that if we got our run to 120, 130, 140, that 60s and 70s, 65, maybe bare minimum, like bare bottom, 58K. Well, we're not very far from that, guys. So in my opinion, if you've been watching this market going, oh, I should have bought. Wish I could have. And right now you're looking at going, oh, I don't want to buy. It's going down. You're not ready. You're not ready for the space. Thank you, Steve. You're just not. And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm not trying to sound like a know-it-all or cocky or anything. I'm just being honest. If you can't look at this chart and go, wow, I might start deploying some capital. And again, I'm not saying just launch everything you have at this. I meant start setting buy orders as this thing continues to go down. So you're averaging entries and things like that. If you can't do that, if you're scared out of your mind right now to deploy capital, this might not be the spot for you. Because this, when the market looks like this is where the money's made. It's just the truth of the matter, guys. Question again, how far can we go? I was thinking like 65-ish, right? Which would put us around here in this. And why do I think that? Well, because of this giant consolidation range right here. Let's hit it on the daily. Not only is it previous cycle tops, but this giant consolidation, 242 days of consolidation right here. If we go down, I think this is where the bottom of our bear market will be. And we are not very far from it, y'all. Let's measure just for fun. Slice at 65. Another 20%. We've seen Bitcoin do that in a day or two. So again, when people say, are we in a bear market, Nick? I mean, quite possibly. Quite possibly. With that being said, guys, there's not really much going on in the charts. Like, hopefully the see you later buy holds. My see you later buy line. I did leave you guys with this wedge last week. And well, you call it a wedge, call it a symmetrical triangle, whatever you want to call it. They have a 50-50 chance of having an impulse move to either the upside or the downside. We went flatline for the weekend right here and could not get above this 86,670 line. That flipped into resistance at that point. We broke trend and see you later bye. Now we're bouncing. Let's see what happens. Now the question, excuse me. You know what's wild too now looking at this? This rip to downside and the consolidation to back up looks just like this right here, but on a smaller level. Like this is a smaller level of it. Sideways consolidation to another rip. Sideways consolidation to another rip. It's just funny. Anyway, here's what we're going to be looking for. If we get this bounce, we need to break this 86,670 now because it just turned into really strong resistance here. And with that being said, I'm going to get rid of this wedge because this pattern played out. It is done. Now we're looking for, I don't know, another trend to break. Potentially breaking right now. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But we'll put it there just in case. Something like that. If we get rejected, we're probably coming back down. People are saying there's still potential to fill the rest, quote unquote, of the CME gap. I don't know. I haven't looked at it. We'll find out. Massive wick to 72K, then Fed reverses course, and printers go brr. We'll see. I know there's a lot of talk about interest rates drops. We'll see what happens. Let me click on this link from Steve. Steve's talking about Bitcoin on-chain buying. Do this. Yeah, I'll come back to this. Bitcoin has never seen accumulation this aggressive in its entire history. What are we looking at? We are looking at the Bitcoin accumulator address demand growth. I don't know what that means though, Steve. What does accumulator address demand growth mean? All right. Guys, so let me finish up with charts before I move on to the news. I mean, this is clearly a double top. I mean, and we're fighting on the way down. I mean, if you want to see what that looks like before, go to previous cycle top. Whoop. Let's, oh, I must have passed it. Where am I at? All right, so previous cycle tops, guys. That's what a double top looks like. And what was just for fun, we're gonna pull the that correction. That's a 55% correction. That is huge. And then we ran up again to like 69-ish and then came back down. And then we went down, legged over, went down, legged over, went down, legged over. Until we bottomed. And this took years, guys. So, where are we right now? Potential double top. I know we didn't get no 50% pullback, but 17. Bitcoin's much larger now, though, too. So these moves seem a lot bigger than they are. We're already almost just barely touching a 30%, which is actually quite normal, but I don't know if that's the thing anymore because of how big Bitcoin is and how big the money is. God, I need to clean up my chart. I just don't want to do it. I'm lazy. But anyways, I just deleted this. Why did it come back? That's weird. Delete. Delete. Anyway, but things like, for example, PAL, right? You guys know I'm a big proponent of PAL. PAL ran to like 84 cents. Has retraced now below 10 cents. If you guys are going, I don't know if I want to buy now, you're not ready. This isn't financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy, but I'm saying if you have looked at PAL for the last 2.5 years, because I've been talking about it for 2.5 years, going, or a year and a half, excuse me, year and a half, and been like, damn, I should have bought, damn, I should have bought, damn, I should have bought. It's under 10 cents now. That's an 8x if she makes a run back to all-time highs. The team is still building, still developing, still making partners. Don't forget, and I'm just using this as an example, PAL started in the bottom of the bear and did just fine. And if you were to ask me an opinion, do I think they'll be able to handle another bear? Absolutely. Most projects that started in a bear probably can. The projects that got started 3 months ago, 4 months ago, 5 months ago, when all the money was flowing and it was cool just to make a project, probably not going to do well. Some will, but most probably won't. But that's it, guys. That's all I've got for the charts today. Again, not a lot going on. Right now, you're doing one of two things. You're either sidelining or you're looking for entry points to start positions. That's my opinion. Cool. So let's get on to the news. Utah's Senate passes Bitcoin bill, but scraps key provisions. Utah lawmakers have passed a Bitcoin bill after amending it to remove a section that would have authorized the state treasurer to invest in Bitcoin. So who's going to invest? So who buys now? Utah's Bitcoin bill has passed the state Senate, but without its cornerstone, a clause that would have made it the first U.S. state with its own Bitcoin reserve. How is it a Bitcoin bill if it's... I'm really confused. Sorry. The HB 230 Blockchain and Digital Innovation Amendments Bill now only provides Utah citizens with basic custody protections, the right to mine Bitcoin, run a node, and participate in staking, among other things. So is that a Bitcoin bill? I mean, Blockchain and Digital Innovation Amendments. I don't really call that a Bitcoin bill. Why would you... Headline bullshit. Anyways. The 19-7-3... the 19-7-3 vote to pass the measure on March 7th means the bill is now headed to Utah Governor Spencer Cox's desk to be signed into law. The reserve clause would have authorized Utah Treasurer to invest up to 5% of digital assets with a market cap above $500 billion, which is only Bitcoin, over the last calendar year in 5 state accounts, with Bitcoin as the only digital asset currently meets this criteria. The reserve clause passed the second reading, but was scrapped in the third and final reading. Utah's House then concurred with the amendment, 52 to 19 to 4 vote. There was a lot of concern with those provisions and the early adoption of these types of policies. One of the bill's sponsors, Senator Kirk A. Cullimore, said in Utah's March 7th floor session, all of that has been stripped out of the bill. Oh, so this is pointless now. Up until March 7th, Utah looked likely to become the first U.S. state to adopt a Bitcoin reserve, Satoshi Action Fund CEO Dennis Porter predicted on February 2nd. 2 Arizona Bitcoin reserve bills and a Texas bill are now the closest to being passed into law, Bitcoin law data shows. Each of those bills obtained a successful vote in the Representative Senate committees and is now awaiting a final floor vote in the Senate. Of the 31 Bitcoin reserve state bills introduced, 25 remain live, including bills from Illinois, Iowa, Kentucky, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New Mexico, North Dakota, Ohio, and Oklahoma. Bills from the likes of Pennsylvania, Montana, Kentucky, and North Dakota have failed. It comes as U.S. President Donald Trump signed an executive order establishing a federal strategic Bitcoin reserve on March 7th. The Bitcoin reserve will be seeded with Bitcoin obtained through forfeitures and criminal cases. Guys, don't let the government know you've got Bitcoin. That's what that tells me. The United States government is really, really good at not paying for assets, but acquiring them. While the Treasury and Commerce secretaries have been instructed to develop budget-neutral strategies to buy more Bitcoin. Hence, the Trump Bitcoin reserve. Budget neutral. So find a way to steal them from people. Moving on. Binance announces community voting mechanism for token listings. I thought they used to do this. Honestly, do I think it's real? Probably not. They'll probably find some way to make it look like you're voting for it, but they're controlling it on the back end. Major centralized exchanges are exploring and implementing changes to the token listing process as the number of cryptocurrencies grow. Binance, the world's largest centralized exchange, has announced a community co-government structure that allows Binance users to vote to list or delist tokens on the platform. Oh, God. I don't know. Just humans are interesting. I'm not sure. Like, look, humans are tribal. So do I see a bunch of like intelligent people voting for this going, yes, we think this is the best, blah, 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 blah. No, you're going to just get people being tribal about the shit that they have money in. Whatever. We'll see how that goes. According to the announcement, Binance will select projects which the community can vote on. Tokens that receive the most votes will be listed on Binance following due diligence from a centralized exchange company. So here's this last little sentence tells you everything. Just because you vote on it doesn't guarantee that they're going to list the project. You vote and then they go and look at it and go, maybe, yes, no. Projects that fail to provide regular progress updates or necessary token information engage in malfeasance. I don't even know what the hell that word is. I'm not smart enough. Or have inactive developer teams and communities will be placed in the platform's quote-unquote monitoring zone. This sounds like a hunk of bullshit, guys. I'm just being honest. Once projects are in a monitoring zone, Binance community members can vote to delist these projects from the platform. The announcement follows an exponential increase in the amount of new cryptocurrency tokens and projects, which now number in the tens of millions. Too many tokens cause major exchanges to reconsider listing procedures. CoinMarketCap featured less than 11 million cryptocurrencies on February 8th. At the time of writing, the number of unique digital assets listed on the website has swelled to 12.4 million. Some market analysts believe that the rapid surge in new token listings competing for limited capital and investor attention has a dilutive effect, you think, on crypto prices and could even prevent an altcoin season during this market cycle, possibly. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong said that Coinbase must rethink its token listing process in a January 24th X post. Armstrong wrote, "We need to rethink our listing process." Well, yep, there he goes. He says it. Process at Coinbase, given there are roughly 1 million tokens a week being created now. And we'll stop worrying about meme coins. How about just don't look at meme coins, period? Because 90%, I would say 90, if not more, 90% of the new tokens being launched on the market are memes. It really isn't like rocket science. Is it a real project? Is it a valid project? I mean, maybe don't even touch memes unless they hit like a 10 billion market cap. Then at that point, there's a catch-22 to this, right? Because let's really think about what an exchange wants. They want a piece of the volume. So all of this sounds nice and good, but the reality is it's going to come down to one thing: making money. And I'm all about Xing all the memes. But, and just like I said, so my point is, just like I said, maybe don't list a meme unless it's a $10 billion market cap. But then there's people on the back end that are part of this exchange that are going, well, shit, but we missed out on $10 billion worth of volume that we could have been making money on. There is the catch-22. But if we were going to do everything right, or, that is good for the space, I would say don't even look at meme coins, unless it hits like anywhere from a $1 to $10 billion market cap. Because then at that point, it's so big that, yes, it's I wouldn't call it a valid project, but it's a valid trading currency, if that makes sense. If I'm making sense, I'm rambling a lot. Anyways, I don't know. This all sounds like a bunch of bullshit to me. It doesn't really matter. You vote for it, they put it in front of you, then they still make a decision on their own. We'll see. See what it does. I must have pissed off people. Nobody is watching on Facebook. I got people on YouTube, though. Hello, people on YouTube. Michael Saylor pushes U.S. government to purchase up to 25% of Bitcoin supply. Strategy founder Michael Saylor says the U.S. government should aim to hold a quarter of the Bitcoin's entire supply by 2035, when 99% of all Bitcoin will have been issued. Strategy founder Michael Saylor has proposed that the United States government acquire up to 25% of Bitcoin's total supply over the next decade for its strategic Bitcoin reserve, acquire 5 to 25% of Bitcoin's network in trust for the nation through consistent programmatic daily purchases between 2025 and 2035, when 99% of all Bitcoin will have been issued, Saylor wrote in a documented title, A Digital Asset Strategy to Dominate the 21st Century Global Economy. Now, do I think this is a good idea? Yeah. But do I think the government's going to do it? Absolutely not. Look, the government is a slow, clunky, outdated, gelatinous machine that cannot see into the future. And that's why they try and hold on to so many old school things, the banks, all this stuff, because if they're so, hear me on this. The government is so hell-bent on holding its power, which I get. They don't want old things to fall by the wayside, because all they know is what they have right now, and that's bank control and corporate control, and that's power to them right now. But again, there's the double-edged sword of this is if they don't do something like this, will they get left behind? There's a large potential of that, and they don't want that either. So, Saylor reiterates U.S. government never sell your Bitcoin. Saylor presented the document to U.S. President Donald Trump, government executives, and global crypto leaders at the White House Crypto Summit on March 7th. By the way, which I did not watch. All I needed to do, guys, was look at the charts to know that I didn't need to watch it. It's just the truth of it. I probably should have brought that up, but I totally spaced it. Me and Andy were out shooting content for his socials, and we were looking at the chart when the thing was supposed to start, and we were dumping, and I went, yep, probably nothing I need to hear, like a big nothing burger, which is what I assumed it was. So I missed it, didn't watch it, didn't feel I needed to. He explained that the government should stick to a quote-unquote never sell your Bitcoin policy, predicting that by 2045, the strategic Bitcoin reserve could generate over $10 trillion annually and serve as a perpetual source of prosperity for Americans. Up until 2045, Saylor said the reserve could generate between $16 trillion and $81 trillion for the U.S. Treasury, potentially easing the national debt. Now, the wild question is, if that happens, does the dollar even matter anymore? For Bitcoin to become that large of an asset, is a dollar done? And that's where the interesting question lies. Earlier that day, Trump signed an executive order establishing a strategic Bitcoin reserve and a digital asset stockpile, initially funded with cryptocurrency seized in criminal cases. While it didn't include an immediate plan to buy more Bitcoin, the order stated that the Treasury and Commerce secretaries would develop a quote-unquote budget-neutral strategy for acquiring more Bitcoin, ensuring no added costs for taxpayers. 25% supply allocation far exceeds previous proposal. If the U.S. government acquired 25% of Bitcoin total supply, it would hold 5.25 million Bitcoin, far more than the 1 million Bitcoin, 5% of the supply, that Wyoming Senator Cynthia Lummis proposed in a Bitcoin Act introduced in July of 2024. Meanwhile, Saylor has continued accumulating Bitcoin, having purchased an additional $2 billion worth on February 24th. This brings Strategy's total holding to nearly 500,000 Bitcoin. Wild to think that MicroStrategy holds half of what Cynthia Lummis is proposing the United States buy as a reserve. Talk about power. The acquisition came after Strategy raised another $2 billion in a senior convertible note, offering to purchase more Bitcoin. Moving on. David Sachs pushed back against the idea of crypto transaction tax. The Trump administration is currently exploring a proposal for a major tax, cryptocurrency, and administration reform in the United States. White House crypto and AI czar David Sachs rejected the idea of taxes on each cryptocurrency transaction as a method of filing the U.S. Strategic Bitcoin Reserve and crypto stockpile with digital assets. If I'm reading correctly, I agree with this too. You don't get taxed if you trade a euro for $1 or whatever. Why are we getting taxed for trading transactional currencies, digital currencies? Anyways, during a recent appearance on the All In podcast, host Jason Calacanis, sorry, proposed changing a 0.01 tax on every cryptocurrency transaction, which would be denominated in the asset that is transferred, bought, or sold. Sachs responded, "That's always how taxes start. They are described as being very modest. You know, when the income tax started, it only applied to like 1,000 Americans, and the legislators swore up and down that it would never be applied to the middle class people. I don't particularly like the idea of new taxes, even if it is promised that they won't affect people very much. That sounds burdensome to me," Sachs continued. "I'm not mad at this. Crypto investors were highly critical of the idea, which would also tax transfers of assets between wallets owned by the same person, which is fucking stupid. The recent White House Crypto Summit made no mention of concrete tax policies. However, the Trump administration has signed its support for sweeping tax reform at the federal level. Trump proposes limiting income tax and IRS. Yeah, we know all that. The President Donald Trump previously proposed limiting the federal income tax and replacing the income tax revenue with tariffs on imported goods. Trump said the U.S. federal government was funded exclusively by tariffs in the 19th century and argued it was a time of almost unparalleled prosperity for the country. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick reiterated the proposal and said the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, would be replaced by an external revenue service. According to research from accounting automation company Dancing Numbers, well, I can't read today. The Trump administration's plan to replace revenues from federal income taxes could save each American taxpayer at least $134,809. The company added that the lifetime savings could be extended to as much as $325,561 per person if state income taxes are also repealed. All right, last but not least, guys, I'm pretty sure I bored you enough. OCC lays out a crypto banking after Trump vows to end Operation Choke Point 2.0. The OCC has eased the burden on a U.S. banking engaging in crypto activities after U.S. President Donald Trump vowed to end the ridiculous Operation Choke Point 2.0. The U.S. Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, so the OC, wow, weird name. The OCC has eased its stance on how banks can engage with crypto just hours after U.S. President Donald Trump vowed to end the prolonged crackdown restricting crypto firms' access to banking services. Crypto asset custody. God, I can't read right now. Sorry, guys. Crypto asset custody, certain stablecoin activities, and participation in independent node verification networks such as distributed ledger are permissible for national banks and federal saving associations, the OCC said in a March 7th statement. The OCC's new guidance will reduce the burden on banks. The OCC confirmed in a document titled Interpretive Letter 1183 that OCC supervised financial institutions no longer need quote-unquote supervisory non-objection to engage with crypto-related activities. Today's action will reduce the burden on banks to engage in crypto-related activities and ensure that these bank activities are treated consistently by OCC. Acting Comptroller of the Currency, Rodney E. Hood, said. The agency said it made the decision because OCC staff now have a better grasp on crypto and want to roll back its earlier stringent rules to quote-unquote encourage responsible innovation and enhance transparency. While the industry has welcomed OCC's recent letter, Custodia Bank founder and CEO Caitlin Long said in a March 7th X post that Operation Choke Point 2.0 isn't over until the U.S. Federal Reserve and Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation also rescind their anti-crypto guidance. It comes just hours after Trump told a room full of crypto executives at a White House crypto summit that he is ending Operation Choke Point 2.0. Sorry, I got a phone call and I got distracted. Quote unquote, some people really suffered. It was ridiculous what they were doing. In the end, they came around, but they came around for the wrong reasons, only because they wanted votes, Trump said. Operation Choke Point 2.0, strong-armed banks. Operation Choke Point 2.0 widely impacted the industry in multiple countries and was a significant pain point for industry advocacy groups during 2024 and U.S. elections. They strong-arm banks into closing crypto businesses and entrepreneurs, effectively blocking money transfers to and from exchanges, and they weaponized the government against the entire industry, Trump said. But I know that feeling also. Maybe better than you do. All that will soon be over. Many crypto firms turned into Wow. This is the last article, guys, and I'm done. I can't read. I can't talk. Something's wrong with me. Many crypto firms turn to stablecoins to finance their operations after losing their businesses or business accounts at traditional banking institutions during the debanking operation. On January 16th, Wyoming Senator Cynthia Lummis sent a letter to the FDIC claiming that whistleblowers informed her that the agency allegedly destroyed documents related to Operation Choke Point 2.0. Why am I not surprised? If it is uncovered that you or staff have knowingly destroyed materials, sought to obstruct the oversight functions of the Senate, I will make swift criminal referrals to U.S. Department of Justice, she said at the time. Guys, that is the boring news I've got for you today. I'm sorry I can't read or talk. Going to the chart, we're going to go to the 1 hour. This is where we're at. Hanging just above that see you later buy line. Cameron on YouTube saying B3 on base is running with all this bearishness going on. Anyone know any news on it? Did it come way back down to where it started? Maybe just a key level where a lot of buys were set. I don't know. Let's take a look at it real quick. I mean, it's up 20%. What's it like on the 7? I mean, here's the reality, man. It's a low. It's a low cap. It doesn't take a lot to move this. It's a $151 million market cap. What's the token lockup on this? Doesn't show. It's got a lot of tokens locked up, guys. Because it has a fully diluted value of 715 million. But no, I'm not seeing. It looks like they got, I mean, they've got staking. Is that new? Did they just open up staking on it? That might be something. I'm reading the news on the right-hand side. March 9th, 16 hours ago. It just might be, people might just think it's bottomed. I mean, it's damn near at its launch price. People might just look at it as a buy zone. I don't know. I haven't looked at it. I will kind of take a peek at this. If I forget, let me know tomorrow, guys, and I'll look at it again. Yeah, it may just bottom, man. It got really close to launch levels, and people probably just aped in. No. I mean, this is your monthly chart right now. It's only been around for about just about a month. Yep, that's it. Guys, that's all I've got for you this morning. Per usual. If you do enjoy the content I provide for you every morning on Boring Crypto, please by all means subscribe to the channel. Follow me on if you're on Facebook. Like the videos, smash that like button, share the video on all your social platforms. If you want to get better at trading and learn how to trade this crypto and traditional markets, guys, go ahead and click on the link pinned in the comments. That'll take you to the Pip Connect Discord. If you have any questions, by all means, reach out to myself or Andy Peters. We'll get those questions answered for you. And outside of that, I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. I'm out of here.